Okay, let's go ahead and move on. We're going to step into the DNA for business purpose portion of the time this morning. And the DNA for people, DNA for business, DNA for life, these are the areas that Synergy Solutions focuses on. And with the DNA for people, this is basically we're mastering ourselves. We're understanding ourselves and then how to view others so that we can help them to reach their goals. DNA for businesses, how do we find leads, how do we convert leads, how do we get better leads? And I'm excited to, we're going to continue on with, I think it's chapter 3 of Fishing with Emily later on, a DNA for life. This has been, she has set a high hurdle for herself because every month she's got to come up with a new chapter. That's your job in life, Emily. So, but we're going to look at these specifically, and as we do this, we'll recognize and identify that within the DNA for people, there are 4 types of people, 4 personalities. And Lumi is going to share more of that. We're going to talk about DNA for business. There's 5 areas: marketing, pre-sales, sales servicing, and client for life, where we actually have a system that gets us in front of people that we can help, and that we can then help them. As we help them, it's more than just a single transaction. It's helping them at the first level and then building on that and eventually building relationships. And then understanding that in DNA for life there are 3 energies. We see, we think, and we do. And so we're going to learn more about that. And so for the next few minutes, I'm going to introduce Lumi to the group, and Lumi's going to come up, and she's going to focus on DNA for people and help us to see this more clearly.
Thanks.
Yes.
Hello. So as Steve just shared, we were going to talk about the 4 personality types that exist. And one thing I want to share with you that it's very important for us to understand these personalities. As we speak in life, we sell in life, right? We sell to our families the value of education, the value of having values. We sell in our business, our clients, right, to sign contracts with us to get what they want in life. So understanding these 4 major personality types, it's paramount to us. And every individual is dominantly one of these types. So it's not 100% one, but dominantly. And there are no right or wrong types, and there are none that are superior or inferior to the others. And learning to identify and adjust your approach and presentation to the different types of people is an invaluable skill that will get us more positive responses, appointments, and like I said, signed contracts. Also, one important thing is that as we identify other people, we have to realize we have one of these traits. So if we are one of these types, naturally we are not responding maybe very well to the other 3 types because there are different people in us. So becoming versatile in the 4 types of personalities will help us increase our level of communicating and our getting our point across. When we look at the type of personality, we have to understand that we want to understand how people use their thinking process. And it's important to use the intrinsic characteristic of the personality types to guide the prospect into seeing our point of view. The first personality that I want to share with you is the amiable. The amiable is the ball. The amiable is the golden retriever of the human race. They love everyone. They don't want to make any waves. They dislike controversy. They genuinely want and need to accommodate They crave agreement and acceptance and operates almost purely on emotion. They are never the dominating personality. They process data verbally, so you want to know that, because people will look into your eye. And their attention span is average, about 30 minutes. So clearly we can't talk with them for more than 30 minutes, right? Have a longer presentation than that. And approximately 30% of all population falls into this category. Amiables are easygoing, dislike conflict, and are concerned with providing support or reaching agreement. They routinely go along just to get along. They feel very uncomfortable under stress and have difficulty making a decision when pressured, but will acquiesce and make decisions freely when they feel good or assured about something. If you look into your lives, you'll notice that a lot of the teachers, nurses, secretaries are the amiable personality. The second personality that we'll talk about today is the analytical, and the analytical is the cube in our chart. Now the analytical, as you can imagine, they need facts, numbers, charts, graphs, spreadsheets. They always want more information, and taking a risk frightens them. They have extreme difficulty in making decisions. They're skeptical, want to ponder. They have a deep fear of making a wrong decision and routinely begin second-guessing any previous decision. They process data visually, never verbally, so you have to show. They operate almost purely from logic or rationale with little or no emotion. And again, another 30% of the population falls in this category. Their attention span is the longest, actually. It's about 20 minutes. So if you have a presentation to an analytical personality, you better have 20 minutes of charts, graphs, and information to show. They dominate amiables only. The analyticals are most successfully approached by supplying abundant data, like I said, preliminary eliminating as much risk as possible, and ensuring that everything makes sense. Again, if you look into your life, who will fall into this category, you'll probably realize that your tax person, your CPA, engineers, they're primarily the analytical personality type. The third one is the expressive, and that will be the way, the lower corner. They're the compulsive talker. They're the life of the party. They also process data verbally and is therefore not interested in marketing materials, stats, presentation, or other visual aids. They want to tell you everything about themselves, their home, their family, you name it. Highly emotional, they crave validation, demand agreement, and they must be heard. They're highly authoritative, insisting that everything be their way. Believe that every aspect of their lives and everything they have to say are of paramount importance. They operate almost purely on emotion. And again, another 30% of the population falls into this category. Their attention span, it's below average, is around 10 minutes, and they always dominate the amiable or analytical. Expressive as energetic and enthusiastic, and will react favorably to an energetic and enthusiastic presentation that they feel is all about them. So as you can see again, being versatile, even if you naturally are not full of energy and enthusiastic, you present to one, you have to match their energy. The fourth one is the pyramid, the non-corner. The pyramid is the driver. That's the decisive, action-oriented, fearless risk-taker. They thrive on challenge, they're focused, but very short attention span of about 8 minutes. And they need to feel in control. They're highly versatile. They process information both verbally and visually. They need minimal data and information to make decisions, and they usually are a strong leader who delegates easily. They're competitive, goal-setting achievers, impatient and indecisive, and people that can't get to a point. They don't want to be bogged down with details. They need direct, common sense rationale and intuitive supposition with little or no emotion. They expect tangible results by deadline. They always dominate the other 3 personality types. And about 10% of the population falls into this, thank God. Now this category, as you can imagine, is the CEOs, CFOs, right? The president, anybody that will be in an authoritative position that, again, delegates easily and get things done. That's the driver. So I'd like to see for yourself how, first of all, I would like to know if everyone knows what's their major personality type. Is anyone here that is in doubt?
A little bit.
Fill out that card right there.
So you need more data. So let's help him. So he needs more data, right? He's questioning, right? If he knows, right? Questioning, like anybody's noticing his personality type? Just very quickly.
Analytical.
Thank you. So that's your major, the number one. Again, we are looking at the major trait. It doesn't mean that that's 100% analytical. Nobody's 100% on personality, right? So it's just the leading. And again, we don't know it very well, but that's what kind of come across. Mark, any input?
Yeah, between the two, there's 65,536 possible combinations. And so individuals may be one personality in one in the geo test, but a different personality in the other test. And so it can create a tremendous amount of confusion. Often individuals are going to be chameleon personalities. And so they may show up in one situation one way, in another situation another way, and so they're kind of like mutants, or like kind of all over. They're everything. They're like a chameleon. And so there's a strong possibility that Mark might be that, and so he might be like all of those different personalities depending on any given situation.
Thank you.
And that's why I brought it up, because I'm trying to drive down a little bit deeper as to how I can control that.
Okay, thank you. So, and that actually drives home my first point, that we are a mix. It's just that, you know, in ourselves, and looking to find the leads that will, the better leads, right, and more leads, and converting them. We always want to understand who we talk to, and we want to speak on their speak their language, right? So if we apparently, right, let's say, if we look at somebody and we think, okay, this gentleman is an accountant, let's say, he dresses in black and white, he seems to be visual, right? He looks at your materials. At least you know where to go through, what questions to ask, and how to deliver your presentation. So again, this is knowing the personality types will help us in the first 5 minutes when we meet somebody to understand how to communicate with them, and to help us increase our conversion, maybe and connection with people, and again, not to necessarily understand 100% their personality. So, any questions about the 4 personality types? Thank you.
Thank you, Libby. Appreciate that. Good job.